For I keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
There's business news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Digicel Business. Get everything your business needs in one package with Digicel Business Hub.
And now,
Radio Cayman presents
The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter.
Radio Cayman's Business Buzz.
Here's your host,
Anita Khan.
Good morning and welcome to the Business Buzz. This is our first segment on this Tuesday morning, Tuesday, February 23rd. It's 29 minutes until 8 o'clock. We have 29 minutes to take us up with our first segment this morning. Have you ever wondered how you can finally get your written work published and into the hands of the reader or on the shelves of our local bookstore? Well, stay tuned as we speak to a local publisher. Good morning and welcome to the Business Buzz here on Radio Cayman. This morning, we put the spotlight on CLM Publishing, a division of Christian Lifestyle magazine. We take a closer look at the business of publishing from a publisher's point of view. Our guest in studio is Mrs. Karen Chin, head of CLM Publishing. Good morning, Miss Karen.
Good morning, Miss Anita.
I call you Miss Karen. You know that, right?
I know, years and years.
So this listeners know it's Miss Karen, but it's Mrs. Karen Chin. Miss Karen, I know you've been in publishing for a while. How long has CLM Publishing been around?
12 years.
12 years. And
yes.
counting.
And counting, thank God. Yes.
So you just didn't wake up one morning and decide, look, I'm going to go into publishing today, into the publishing business. What made you take that leap into publishing?
It's a strange but wonderful story. Years ago, a gentleman visited here and he saw one of the magazine's cover and it has a broken chain, and he wrote back to his publisher that he would love to use this this cover on his books going forward, or he was doing a series, so he wanted to use the broken chain image that we had on the magazine. And so the publisher wrote us, I think I like to say by mistake, but apparently it's the intervention. And he wrote us, copied the author and said, can we get that image? Yes, the image is wonderful. We can use it and so forth. And he started talking about how to get into publishing. And of course, we had a few people who had knocked on the door, including Miss Mary Rankin. Mm-hmm. And she asked, how can I get my book published? And I said, we don't really do publishing. And I said, yet. We only published a magazine. And she said, I need to get my book published. It wasn't the first book that we published anyway. The first book was from a guy in the U.S. But that's how we got started. This guy just emailed us randomly, it seems, to ask about the image. And he asked what our publishing that we're doing. And he got us set up. So we got
and
that.
That got you started.
And
the magazine you're speaking of, is that a Christian Lifestyle magazine?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
And what were the early years like when you started this, Ms. Karen?
Still sleepless nights. I don't think you get over that. There's always that author that says, I want my book now, or can you get my book published in 3 weeks, or they come to you when they have a deadline.
They set that deadline,
yeah,
not you.
The other way around. Well, okay. No, I really said it, but they're like, okay, can I get this by March? And they're knocking on us like today, and if I can get it in the first week in March, it would be good. And we said, okay. It's also you. If we send it back to you with all the editing and cover design and so forth, if you don't need to change anything, then we can meet the deadline. But if you're going to change and then send it back and change, and then you affect the deadline. So yes, it's still like that.
So as you got into the publishing business, you're still doing your Christian Lifestyle magazine,
Yes, we are.
and then what were your initial goals? Okay, because you've got the magazine going, and that magazine is that monthly or
Quarterly.
quarterly?
Yes.
Okay, so what were your initial goals, and how have they evolved over time?
Okay, it was bi-monthly when we started the
Right,
magazine,
okay.
and so balancing so many deadlines and jobs that require such deep attention, it kind of shifted a little to quarterly. But my initial goal was I was going to publish those 2 books or 3 books that came to us in the beginning, and I'm
That
still
would be it.
So now we're still looking to say, okay, do we walk away? No, the doors, people are still knocking. And the strange thing, or the funny thing, I'm not sure where to slip that word in, but we have not advertised in saying that we are a publisher. We have just been quietly in the background, and people have been
Word of mouth.
Yes. Thank God for word of mouth. And so it has been spreading like that for the time being. But this year we might just advertise. We are advertising
You've
now.
got Radio Cayman.
We have. Thank you, Susan. That's right.
Thank you,
and
Susan.
Sabrina, they have had me on the show a few times.
couple of times.
So thank you for that. That's the advertisement there.
Well, there you go. What are some of the things authors can expect when they come to you? Let's say with regards to cover designs, editing, text layout. You've got the registered ISBN and even author copyright.
Yeah. They can expect all that, and then my little pointers that I like to put in there is, if you can accept the fact that if I suggest to you that use a brown cover rather than white cover, if you can accept the fact that it will look nicer, allow us to give you that advice, because a lot of people. I worked in radio some 20 years, and so yes, that's another side job. I've been a radio DJ for a while, but one of the things that when commercial is coming around and we write the script, and my manager said once, don't marry the script. And so I said, okay, what do you mean by don't marry the script? It means that when you write it, somebody else is going to edit it, and somebody else is going to proof it, and somebody else is going to tweak it, and the client is still going to say, so don't marry the script. And that is what I like to suggest to book writers and authors to be. And don't think that when you write it that my dad was a good man and so forth. The word good is going to stay there. It could be my dad was an excellent guy or something. Some tweaks going to go on. So don't marry the script that you send the manuscript to us for a review. Just expect that we're going to point out some stuff. Yeah. So that's what I like to say.
Susan, don't ever marry the script. Okay? So, Carol, I learned a new one today. I've been in the business a little while, but never heard that one. Will books that you publish here be set up for nationwide distribution?
Yes. Though we are published from the Cayman Islands, you find us, go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any of the digital market you can find.
Nice.
You'll find our work is still there.
Ms. Karen, it's nice to know that we have a publisher and publishing company on the island that where we do books and stuff like that. Do people come to you for say they have a compilation of poems and they wanna put it into a book form? Have you had something like that before?
We have had that before. We have had people that have written a book from first word to the last word that have forget to put it in chapters, so we have to go in there to read it and chapter it as well. So we have had this extreme of I'm not sure what I want to do yet, but I've compiled this, and what can you work with this with us? And so we have had those kind of extremes as well, because one of the things that people we have jobs crossover. Like I sometimes critique your work faster than I can see my arrows. So in the job crossover, the writer is writing, but it's hard for them to also edit it at the time, or proof it, or the best cover, pick the best cover, because somebody think that just putting a stickman on the cover it's going to draw some attention, but not the right attention that you're looking for. Sometimes, a stickman is good, but it's not always the right. What's in the story, is it gonna match up with the story? Some people just feel that it's always important to put an image on it. What if your book don't need an image? It just might need some bold letters or so on the cover. So it's many things that we look at when you send a manuscript to us.
What do you think works best, though? Something on that cover? I like look at covers and
yes,
the
three
must,
drawings. It's the cover, the front cover, the back cover, that you're going to read something either about the author or about the book. It's always important to slip something on the back cover. A lot of writers, especially if they do a memoir or something, would say, I don't want anything on the back cover. Come on. What makes it so important for me to read your book? Put something on the back cover, a synopsis or something, or get a preface and preface and put it there too, so that, because the first thing going to draw me is the front cover, the back cover, the information either on the author or also on the book, and then I'll turn sometime to the first story. So make it good that I want to pick the book up and walk away with it.
I know, right? I'll pay for it.
Well, that too.
Ms. Karen, publishing is a tough business, I'm sure. During your career, what major changes have you observed in the book business?
Major changes. Okay, when I just got started back in 2008, more like 2009, when I really get my feet wet properly. I used to go to the ICRS, it's International Christian Retailers Association, and I was sitting at tables with Random Publishing House or Charisma, those names that you can float around when you said throw names out there, and I usually have this small feel about me where I'm not good enough for this. And you're sitting with these head of billion-dollar companies. You're sitting there with, Christianity Today guy or Schuster or Disney or somebody, Dr. Gary Chapman, somebody, and you're going, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? So one of the major things that I've done is to say, the publishing found me, so I need to own it and walk in it. And so one of those, that's a major thing I've done in my head, is to say, come on, this thing found you, own it and work it.
And the fact that you're there among these people meant a lot too.
It is. It is. And so I look back on it and said, I could have gone further than I am now if I had just owned it earlier. That's
Well, Ms. Karen, you're definitely owning it. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the Business Buzz. My name is Anita Khan, and in the studio with me this morning, the head of CLM Publishing. And CLM Publishing is a division of Christian Lifestyle Magazine. Ms. Karen, what is give us some examples of the kind of books that you have published for various authors.
From the memoirs, biography, and children books a lot lately, and non-fiction, fiction. I've done. Fiction is the lowest number. I think we have done only 4 fictions, but non-fictions a lot. We have over 87 published books, readable books, aside from projects that I've done for a church that is doing a seminar or a series. We have published books for Pedro Baptist, I call it, but it's Cayman Islands Baptist up in Pedro there. Right. We have done their series for all the years that they've been doing their focus book. So those are not out in the public for sale, but we have also published those. So if we were to count those, we'd probably gone 100 books by now.
That was going to be my next question. How many books has CLM published for clients? And,
87 for purchase.
How many?
87 for purchase. You can pick it up somewhere in the bookstore on Amazon or something, but other books that 13 or maybe 14. We have also done work for, I wouldn't say the government, but divisions of the government. So those are in there as well.
Oh man, I tell you, I love books, Miss Karen. E-books don't work well with me. I have to pick up that book and feel the pages, smell the ink.
Yes. Yes.
No, for our listeners, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll ask you, Miss Karen, what makes a good book that readers will purchase or want to read. Thanks to our sponsors this morning of the Business Buzz, Cayman Medical Supplies, Cayman Insurance Center, and Digicel Business.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Nolan Brown Foster, Certificate Honor, JP. Nolan Foster of Cayman Brac was in public service for most of his life. He was elected to the Assembly of Justices and Vestry in 1958 and continued to serve as an MLA when the Legislative Assembly replaced it in 1959. He has served as a member of the Board of Education, the Sister Islands Gainful Occupation Review Committee, the Protection Board, the Lands and Education Tribunal, the Sister Islands Economic Development Steering Committee, and the Sister Islands Economic Development Council. He was a self-employed businessman and realtor since 1958. He was chairman and managing director of Cayman Brac Power and Light Company from 1980 to 1993, during which time the power plant on Little Cayman came online. He served in the Merchant Marine during World War II and as an engineer in the Merchant Marine for 10 years after the war. Mr. Nolan and his wife, Christine Nee Ryan, have 6 children. A 6th child is deceased. His wife is a member of the Stake Bay Baptist Church, where Mr. Nolan had served as deacon and Sunday school superintendent.
As we ride the hamster wheel, scampering along the treadmill of living, we try to reset to this new normal, this new life. Where getting away is staying right here. Where vacation is staycation, staying safe. Where focus is surviving minutes, hours, days of anxiety. Step away and say hello to the latest exhibition of the National Gallery. Say hello to Alchemy by Cayman's premier sculptor, native son Horacio Esteban. Lose yourself in moments of geology meeting history, meeting botany, meeting zoology, meeting art. Where Caymanite and coral and unearthed cedar of thousands of years strike a pose in art. Bring your family. Leave your stress at the doors. Wellness, renewal, mental peppermint. Alchemy at the National Gallery, supported by Rotary Central Community Service. Rotary opens opportunities.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road. Call 49-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
For 46 years, our Cayman Insurance Center family has worked to protect your family and your most valuable assets. And we are happy to announce that our offices are now reopened to better serve you. For your added convenience, you can also make payments online or make inquiries by phone or email. Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family. As your family's health is everything, do all that you can to protect it. For your family's safety, social distancing practices are in effect at our offices, and masks should be worn. From our Cayman Insurance Center family to yours, stay safe, stay Cayman strong. For more information, call 949-4657.
How can you take your business from good to great and thrive in the new normal? By finding the smartest, most powerful IT solutions to optimize your business operations. And now, Digicel Business Hub is making it simple for you. High-speed Wi-Fi, mobile and office phones, IT security, Microsoft Office with Teams, and much more. Everything your business needs to level up in the new normal. Get world-class IT for your business with Digicel Business Hub. Sign up today. Call us on 623-3444 or visit our website, digicelbusiness.com.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. If you're just joining us, our guest in studio this morning is Mrs. Karen Chin, fondly known to me as Miss Karen, and she's the head of CLM Publishing. Miss Karen, I'm glad you stayed with me. Thank you. We had a nice little chat off cue.
Yes.
Before we took that break, we said we were going to talk about what makes a good book that readers will rush out to purchase and want to rush home to read. What makes that good book?
Well, if you can capture a headline and make a story from it, you can also walk
book?
it. Yes. If there is something, it's always good to write about something that is noteworthy. People just feel, I'm going to write a book. What is it about? What contribution it's going to make into the, I like to say, the universe? Is it going to be just I'm writing books to put ink on paper, or I'm writing a book that's going to speak to a particular situation? Like, take, for instance, we're in the Cayman Islands. Not many books about the Cayman Islands. Not that I'm giving away my little secret, because I've been doing a lot on the Cayman Islands books, but there are still room for books on the Cayman Islands. Dr. Roy's book is wonderful to, garner some information from, to start another book.
Did you publish that one for him?
No.
Okay.
But I still like to push his book because it should be in school.
I agree.
Yeah, it should be in school. We didn't publish it, but you can recognize work. When somebody
and which one is that again? He's got several.
Glass House. I like the.
Okay.
Yes, I like that one. It's
got stories my grandfather told me.
Yes, and those are great starter for children to come up and talk about their own idea to write, because when you promote local books in the school or in the schools, then you're also continuing the work for a local reader to become a writer later on, because they're in the school, and if you're giving them books from over yonder, they're just going to say to themselves, it don't make sense to think about going into writing because it's not recognized here. So that would be a great idea to involve a few of the books. It can't be all, but some of the books in social studies and in regular reading times, language arts or communication skills or something, involve some of the books that are published locally or written by local authors, then if nothing else, into the school, so that the students or the children can look towards a writing field later on. Not all of us going to become doctors or lawyers or so on, but we can all become writers if we want.
So that good book content.
Yes. Speak to a topic, a particular topic. It also helps. If it's Women's Month, it could be something on the female, whatever it is. If it's Father's Day, or if it's summer or something, speak to an event or something, and that can grab you. But generally, if you're a good fiction writer or non-fiction writer, if your stay on topic, not that I sway off to, not like me who sway off a lot, but if you stay on topic and keep the hook, there's that hook that you want to turn the next page. I have a book that a lot of people said, where's part 2? Something like that. Get a hook in there that makes somebody go, yes, I want to read more. I want to turn the page. I want to turn the page.
Finish this book before midnight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once a potential author emails a book proposal to CLM Publishing, what happens after you've reviewed and approve a book proposal? What happens after that?
Most times people would contact us, and first I would say send us a chapter and let's see where it's going. Have you finished the book and so forth? And some will say, oh, we're still in the process of writing. Leave us out of it a little bit more when you're still in the process of writing it, because what you're going to send us, you might change it 2 months down the line, and then if I said yes, we're going to or if on a whole we say yes, we're going to publish this, and then you change it 2 months down the line, we don't have the same work, then we have to start again to review and all of that. So when you're 99.99% finished, yeah, I wouldn't say 100%, but at least enough that you're saying, okay, I'm going to let it go now, because even until it print, a lot of people want to change something and change something and change something. Let it go so it print, and you can always do up volume 2 or, if more information, because a book is never finished in a sense. It's always when you finish it, publish it and so forth and print it, then you're going, okay, I could have added another chapter. So for the reprint, you can always update it and so forth. So those are things you can look into.
Have you ever had an instant where you're almost ready to go to publishing and somebody says, I need to change something?
Oh, too often. Too often. But it is the job. You find that until it's gone to the print and the printer said a point of no return, you're still hoping that the client don't call you and say, I think I forget to acknowledge my dog.
Miss Carrie, you must have the patience of Job.
Well, that's one of the things I asked the Lord to work on. Patience for me, I don't have it, honestly, but I covers it. It covers well. It covers well. You wouldn't know that I don't have patience.
Well, I tell you what, that's probably what makes a good publisher.
Yeah, the facade of
no, it's not facade.
Okay.
It's genuine. How long can the process take from the start to finish when publishing a book for your client?
It can run from 6 weeks to 6 years, because I've seen where I have a particular client, and since 2015 she wrote the book, practically paid for the book, and still waiting to tweak something. I gave her a hint some months ago. I said, the printer is just going to tell you that they're not going to print this anymore. She said, I just want to change. And then she finally changed everything that she wants to change. But then we can't finish to finalize, to say, sign off on it, because I don't send it to the printer until you sign off to say, I'm okay with this.
Okay. Yeah. What formats do you offer? Hard or soft cover?
All of it.
Format?
All of it.
All of it?
Yes.
Nice. Very nice. How is the price for any given book determined?
As in the price on the cover that you're going to sell it for, or the price that it's cost?
The price, the selling cost.
Okay.
The final,
right.
What I'm going to pay.
Okay. Well, it depends, because a person with nonfiction could be just 30,000 words or so on, but a fiction book could be 150,000 words. So it moves up with editing, it moves up with the printing, it moves up with the amount of page to layout and so on. So the price to determine when you're selling your book, though, it also is the number of pages. If it's fiction, a fiction book could run $4.99 to $19.99, depending on the author. And then a children's book is the other one, the most expensive of all, especially if you're doing hard copies.
You've got to do some textbooks. Those cost $200 sometimes. Miss Karen, can you give us some contact details for that person who wants to reach out to you?
Of course. Our office is in Countryside. We are in Suite 5, Countryside. And the email is production@clmpublishing.com. And my cell is 345-926-2507. That's 926-2507 is the contact number.
And what can we look forward to from CLM Publishing in the future?
Lots more children's books. Lots more books on the Cayman Islands.
Miss Karen, good luck, and we look forward to hearing lots of good stuff from you. And CLM Publishing, we've got to take the news. Thank you. Stay tuned. Coming up, we have news, weather, traffic, and of course we have a second segment of the business buzz coming up, and that will be Simply Weddings.
Thank you, Anita. And studio time now by Foster's is 7:59.
At Foster's, we've been the leader in savings since 1980.
And in this week's specials catalog, you'll find Bakerly Sliced Brioche Bread, only $4.39 each. Save $2.
We also have Mars Ice Cream Novelties. 6-pack, just $3.99. Save $2.60. And Frito-Lay's Sun Chips, 2 for $5. Save $2.18 on 2.
Price is good until the 3rd of March, 2021. Find even more great specials in store or by visiting fosters.ky. Foster's. Better prices because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. News is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Please be advised that the pension contribution holiday has been extended until 30th of June 2021. Employers and plan members should ensure arrangements are in place for salary deductions and remittance following this date. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, keeping you informed. For further information, visit chamberpensions.ky, and for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We're here for you.
Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. Representatives for Chantel Day and Vicky Baden-Bush put their case to the Privy Council in the United Kingdom today. The Caymanian couple is arguing 2 points. One, does the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the Cayman Islands provide a right for them to access the institution of marriage? And 2, if so, should the order of the Grand Court of the Cayman Islands, which modified the marriage law so as that marriage is defined to mean the union between two people as one another's spouses, be restored? Miss Day and Miss Bush are 2 women in a committed relationship living in Cayman with their daughter, and they'd like to marry. In 2018, the Deputy Registrar refused their application for the appropriate marriage license on the basis that the marriage law of the Cayman Islands defines marriage to mean, quote, the union between a man and a woman as husband and wife. The appellate sought to challenge the law and the Deputy Registrar's decision as incompatible with the Bill of Rights. They were successful in the first instance, and the Grand Court found there to be violations of their right to private life, their freedom of conscience, freedom to manifest their belief in marriage, and their freedom from discrimination in the enjoyment of their rights. The court exercised its power under the Constitution to modify the marriage law so that marriage was defined to mean the union between two people as one another's spouses. The Deputy Registrar and the Attorney General of the Cayman Islands appealed successfully against that decision to the Court of Appeal, which decided that the right to marry under the Caymanian Constitution did not extend to same-sex couples. The Court of Appeal did, however, declare that Miss Day and Miss Bush were entitled to legal protection functionally equivalent to marriage. The appellants have now appealed to the Judicial Council of the Privy Council, which is meeting today. And in other news, an update from the Department of Environment on Cayman's outbreak of stony tissue loss disease.
Stony coral tissue loss disease first emerged on Florida's coral reefs in 2014 and has since unfortunately spread throughout most of the Caribbean region. Upon the discovery of the disease near Rum Point in June 2020 by a local marine scientist, the DOE immediately began monitoring and mitigation efforts in an effort to try to halt the spread of the disease. Thankfully, to date, it has not been found in Cayman Brac or Little Cayman. However, despite the DOE's best efforts, the infection continues to spread across Grand Cayman's northern coral reef tract between the public moorings Delilah's Delight and westwards towards Conch Point Reef. The disease is primarily progressing westwards towards the 7 Mile Beach Marine Park, which is very disturbing.
Deputy Director of Research and Assessment for the Department of Environment, Tim Austin, says this disease that threatens Cayman's reefs could be spreading so fast due to westerly water currents, animals that use coral as food sources, and then transfer the disease to healthy corals, and potentially transferred by humans as well, conducting water sports and diving. This has led to a meeting that will soon be held by the DOE with local water sports and dive operators on Friday from 1 to 3 p.m. at the Government Administration Building. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Jerry Smith. The World Food Programme has warned that North Korea's strict coronavirus protocols, including border closures, may force it to suspend vital aid operations in the country. Before the global pandemic began, the WFP estimated that more than 40% of North Koreans were going hungry. Facebook is to restore news feeds in Australia after it agreed to amend legislation forcing social media companies to pay for news content. Facebook took action last week because of concern that Australia's proposed measures could set a precedent. The UN says 15 ethnic Tigrayan members of the Ethiopian peacekeeping force in South Sudan have refused to go home, saying they fear for their lives. A fight was reported at the airport during an attempt to force the troops on board a plane. The former Saudi oil minister Sheikh Ahmed Zaki Yamani has died in London at the age of 90. He was the face of the oil embargo in 1973 that saw prices quadruple, wreaking havoc on the world economy. The European Court of Human Rights says Ukraine has brought before it fresh complaints against Russia, accusing it of carrying out state-sponsored assassinations of its perceived opponents. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
We, as Caymanians, live by our choices and by using our voice to bring about change. On April 14th, Cayman and Georgetown West holds the power to turn the page to a more hopeful, more empowered chapter in our country's leadership. My fellow Caymanians, my name is Perlina Magal-Lumsden, and I'm proud to be your candidate for Georgetown West. I hope that you will join our movement and use your voice to vote for me, a candidate that will work tirelessly to put you, your families, your education, your employment, and our environment first.
How can you take your business from good to great and thrive in the new normal? By finding the smartest, most powerful IT solutions to optimize your business operations. And now, Digicel Business Hub is making it simple for you. High-speed Wi-Fi, mobile and office phones, IT security, Microsoft Office with Teams, and much more. Everything your business needs to level up in the new normal. Get world-class IT for your business with Digicel Business Hub. Sign up today. Call us on 623-3444 or visit our website, digicelbusiness.com.
The Cayman Islands Agriculture Society is pleased to announce the end of February festivities. Kids Night Out, Parents Night Off at the Pavilion on Friday, February 26th from 6 until 10 p.m. Only $15 per child, including refreshments and activities. And on Saturday, February 27th, see the return of the new Market at the Pavilion from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. Local food, crafts, meats, produce, clothing, live music, activities for the kids, a chance to win a cow for only $25 a ticket. Gate prices and much, much more. Entry only $2. Children under 13 are free. Take in all of the fun of the annual Cayman Islands Agriculture Show, but a wee bit smaller, at the Stacy Watler Pavilion in Lower Valley. Visit the newly launched website www.345agriculture.com to RSVP for our event.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or email www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Good morning and checking in on your weather report. Current temperature is 77 degrees. Relative humidity is 80%. The barometric pressure 30.05 inches and rising. The wind is out of the east at 7 knots. Overnight low temperature was 76 degrees. Synopsis indicate light easterly winds and slight seas are expected across the Cayman area as a high pressure system over the western Atlantic Ocean moves east and weakens. Radar images show scattered showers south of the islands moving towards the west. Now the forecast for today calling for fair to partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. The forecast for tonight calling for fair to partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures will dip to the low 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight with wave heights of 1 to 3 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at a minute after 2, high tide tonight at 7:13. The sun will set this evening at 6:27 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:49. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Thursday morning.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or email www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Change your thinking, change your life. Ultimately, taking action is the surest way to achieve results.
As motivational speaker Tony Robbins said, I believe life is constantly testing us for our level of commitment,
and life's greatest rewards are reserved for those who demonstrate a never-ending commitment to act until they achieve. This level of resolve can move mountains, but it must be constant and consistent. As simplistic as this may sound, it is still the common denominator separating those who live their dreams from those who live in regret.
Change your thinking. Change your life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. OnCourse Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening on the roads. And we've heard that there's been an accident just past the roundabout by Hurley's. So be aware of that. Maybe take the alternate route on the South Sound Road. Elsewhere on Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is busy. And Huldah Avenue, steady traffic. Also, as we look to Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, traffic is flowing moderately. And moderate flow of traffic on Edward Street and traffic flowing at a good pace on Shedden Road. As we look to the Westbury Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moving on pretty good. And the usual traffic flow on Walker's Road coming from the school area heading to Georgetown. And from the Butterfield roundabout heading towards the Industrial Park area, traffic is flowing steadily. And light traffic on Old Roberts Drive. Crew Road, some sections steady, other sections moderate. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll give you another traffic report. Have a good morning and buckle up.
Now you'll never have to choose between two desserts at Subway. The new caramel brownie cookie is 2 treats in 1. Imagine sweet, gooey caramel with decadent chocolate chunks baked in brownie-flavored dough and topped with a light drizzle of caramel icing. And you have the new caramel brownie cookie, available at Subway. Complete your Subway sandwich, pizza, or salad with the delicious caramel brownie cookie or any other cookie flavor and dessert. Available at all Subway locations. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Thank you for joining us again on the Business Buzz. This is the second segment of the Business Buzz on this Tuesday morning. I am Anita Khan, and in the studio I have 2 lovely ladies with me. Mrs. Joy Basdio. Miss Joy, can I call you Joy?
Oh, please.
She is the owner, wedding celebrant of Simply Weddings, and joining her is marriage officer, Mrs. Samantha Paul, and we put the spotlight this morning on the company Simply Weddings and the wedding industry here in the Cayman Islands. Thank you so much, Ms. Joy and Samantha, for joining us on the Business Buzz.
Thanks, Anita.
It's good to have you. I want to hear all about weddings and what's happening in the wedding industry and the whole 9 yards. But first of all, Ms. Joy, can you give us some history on how Simply Weddings was formed and how many years you've been in business and how the company has evolved?
Well, we've been in business 13 years. What happened is I sort of fell into the wedding business because my mother and father had the first wedding company called Cayman Weddings since 1982. And when I retired from government, I used to go and help my mother at her office in West Bay. And I said to her, Mommy, why aren't you doing cruise weddings? And she said, oh, it's too much work and I don't want them to have to come to West Bay. And I said, well, obviously I need to start a company in town because I live in town to take care of the cruise weddings. And so Simpler Weddings was born. And at first I concentrated on cruise weddings. But the business grew very fast. And so we started doing destination weddings, people who were flying in, stay over tours, and we also started doing local weddings. And now, after this time, the company is doing, I think up to last year when COVID started, we were doing about 50-50. 50% were local and 50% were coming in on cruise or as stay over.
So is Miss Francine still doing Cayman weddings?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll let Samantha answer that.
Gammy is doing weddings up to this weekend.
Oh. So Samantha, you are Miss Francine's granddaughter.
Yes.
So it's all a family business.
Absolutely. I'm actually her deputy. I'm a deputy civil registrar. And it has been wonderful for me to be working with my grandmother and watching the way that she approaches ceremonies, because I have actually been working with her on and off since I was a teenager. Cayman weddings was an important part of our family, and myself and my brothers and all of my cousins have done a stint there. And it's lovely to come back to it.
Did she pay you back then?
Of course she did.
Okay. Otherwise, it'll be collection time after this program today, right? No. Ms. Joy, back when you first opened Simply Wedding, what was the wedding scene like back then compared to Cayman today?
That's a hard one to answer. I guess I am doing many more weddings today than I did in those early days. I think because the concept of civil registrar and somebody that was not a pastor doing weddings was a new concept. But as people understand what we do as civil registrars, then our practice has grown. And another thing which has helped us is that we have a wedding chapel. We have a room that we offer free of charge to our clients. And right now we have moved into a new office in the Chestnut Center off of Smith Road. We have a lovely wedding chapel. And I actually do probably about 200 local weddings a year there.
200?
About 200,
wow.
Yes. Local weddings, because of course the tourists would want the beach.
Right.
But people are wanting simple, intimate weddings with just their nearest and dearest. I think that the days of the enormous weddings, like the wedding that I had with 250 people, there's not a lot of those types of weddings going on now for local people. I think probably the cost is one reason. So you're seeing much more intimate and personal and personalized weddings, and that is what we specialize in. We specialize in simple weddings, a few, as I said, nearest and dearest. Since COVID, we are doing a lot of Zoom weddings. A lot of people, because their relatives can't visit,
they want be a part of
yes,
that
they
ceremony.
Want to do Zoom, and we of course have the facilities to do that.
Now, civil partnerships, weddings. You want to touch on that a little bit?
Yes, of course. The law came into effect in I think it was September 2020, and so civil partnerships can be a same-sex civil partnership, or it can be an opposite-sex civil partnership. And since the law came into effect, there have been 26 civil partnerships. Of those, we have done 19. I will tell you that they have been some of the most beautiful ceremonies that I have ever done or witnessed, because most of our couples are so excited to be able to be legally joined.
And I'm pretty sure that you'll get those numbers will increase.
Well, let's hope so.
No, Samantha, I know you want to jump in. Anything you want to add to that?
What about the civil partnerships? Well, yes. One of the things that we have seen is a lot of the couples that have come in to be joined, they have told us their stories of what they have gone through up to now to be together and the hardships that they have faced, and it has just been really gratifying to help them remedy that and move forward, and to have some of the same rights that they've been fighting for.
Okay. And today in the news, we just heard on the news that this is going to Privy Court, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, going back to COVID, I was sitting here thinking, not a lot of people getting married during this time. Ms. Joy, how did you fare, or especially during the first part of last year, say from the lockdown March to August? How did you fare?
Lockdown was interesting because we weren't sure what was going to happen. Of course, it was such an uncertain time for everyone. Borders are closed. Right. We still are not entirely certain about what is going to happen. And we thought, with our business being sort of 50-50 local and overseas, what is going to happen? And of course, there was I would say a small surge of weddings.
Yeah.
When we were coming out of lockdown.
May, June, even July.
Yes. Because I think because of the uncertainty, a lot of people, it sort of brought their plans forward. A lot of people, I think, if they were trying to leave and they wanted to take their partner with them, that was challenging. So we had a surge of people who were getting married so that they could leave together instead of having to run off in two different directions,
Right. So this was a plus. COVID, I shouldn't say COVID.
Well, it wasn't a plus exactly,
no.
but it has been surprising to see how it has affected our business. And of course, there was also a concern for us with no visitors coming in, what was going to happen to that half of the business. But we found that a lot of couples who would normally have had a destination wedding elsewhere, we're staying home now. Mm-hmm. And so we are seeing beautiful weddings happening, I would say, fairly frequently. Mm. And it's lovely to be a part of that here. So it hasn't been.
And the other thing is that many of the people who got married in 2020, they will come in and to register, and they'll say, look, we want to do the simple legal part now, and we're going to plan to have a big wedding when our family can come in.
Post-COVID.
Yes, which is also, I have to say, a product that we offer. We offer something called a wedding blessing, where you can have the rings, the vows, and so on and so forth. But it's not a pronouncement. It is more a symbolic, the ceremony type, when the legal part has been done.
Ah, okay. I learned something every day on this program. Ms. Jo, what does it take to be successful in the wedding planning industry, and what do you think couples look for in a marriage officer?
Well, for one thing, I think they look for somebody who has done it successfully. Considering that Sam and I have been married for 49 years.
Wow. Congratulations.
I think I can give some advice. I think they look for somebody who's authentic, somebody who knows their stuff. I mean, I have been doing this now from the 1980s, so I know the law. I believe, viewed as sort of an expert on the marriage law and how it operates, and hopefully now on the civil partnership law. So I think being authentic and being a people person, people find that they can talk to me, they can tell me their stories. And one of the most important things for Simpler Weddings is that people have the opportunity to get involved and build their ceremony. So if they want to do their own vows, that's fine. If they want to do their own readings, that is fine. It's not just
It's not a boilerplate ceremony.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, for our listeners who don't know Mrs. Joy Basdio, Miss Joy, she had a distinguished career with the Cayman Islands government. For her contributions to the island, she was made a member of the British Empire, MBE, by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in 2000. Am I correct? and she's also a justice of the peace and a notary public. That's awesome stuff, Ms. Joy. Samantha, what? Okay, so you've done some interning with your grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at these wedding ceremonies. What got you interested in officiating weddings?
It sort of came about very naturally. I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, which is a wonderful thing about being here now.
Bet you're spoiled.
I mean, maybe a little bit. But one of the things that I would often help her with was the preparation of the weddings that she is still doing, because she's still going strong. And becoming her deputy sort of came out naturally from that, because I'm going with her to the ceremonies and helping with her paperwork and doing some of the running up and down for her. Mm-hmm. And so it just sort of felt very natural to start officiating as well. So I was made her deputy in August of last year. And this year it has really started to pick up for me to start doing some of the officiating myself. And it has just been it has been lovely and gratifying. Obviously, as I said to you earlier, I started interning at Cayman Weddings in my teens. And so doing these ceremonies that I've heard my grandmother do and my grandfather do and my mother do for all these years, it's a wonderful sort of full circle feeling. And I mean, it is lovely to marry people. It is, you feel the gravity of what you're doing, and I'm really enjoying it.
It's a family tradition.
It's a family tradition.
Hank will be proud. Now, when it comes to notice of marriage, what exactly is required of both parties to present to you as a civil registrar or the marriage officer?
Well, the couples have to come in and register. They have to bring their passport, and they have to, for somebody who is not Caymanian, even if you are Caymanian, you have to show that you are legally here in the Cayman Islands. Because marriages of convenience are of a big concern, and therefore we have to make sure that people are here legally. Okay. So they bring their passports. If they've been married before, they have to bring their divorce decrees. Okay. And we prepare something called a notice of marriage. The notice of marriage really states all the facts. It is an intention. It is their signed intention that they want to be legally married. And we give that to them, and they take it to two people to witness it, because they have to have two people who are going to vouch for them to say, yes, this is the person. This person is legitimate. This is what I know this person. And then we also use the note, and then they have to bring the notice of marriage back to us before they get married. Okay. That is a requirement under the law for civil registrars. It's actually, I don't think, a requirement for pastors, but it is a requirement for civil registrars. And then we put up the notice of marriage, which we always call the banns, because it's more, people understand banns. And we have a big notice board outside our office in the Chestnut Center. And we put up the notice, and it has to be up for 7 days to give anyone an opportunity to object to that marriage taking place.
7 days.
7 days.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you normally have people come back in and say, after seeing the banns?
I have had objections in the past, yes. And if there is an objection, there's a requirement under the law for how people must object. I will tell you that if there's an objection, everything stops. Nothing happens. Even they could be everything stops, and then there's certain actions that I have to take, including interviewing the couple, interviewing them separately, interviewing their witnesses, the different things. But it happens very, very...
Become an investigator.
Yes, it happens very, very infrequently.
Yes. Okay, well, that's good. That's good to know. Now, what happens if you produce, you're given documents in different languages? Do you need a notarized English translation of sorts?
They have to have a translation. Okay. Not necessarily notarized, because they're official translators in Cayman. There's companies that do that translation, which we will accept from them.
Okay, ladies, we have to take a break. If you're just joining us, you're listening to the second segment of the Business Buzz. And in the studio this morning, Mrs. Joy Basdio. Mrs. Joy is the owner, wedding celebrant of Simply Weddings. And joining her is her daughter, marriage officer, Mrs. Samantha Paul. And we're putting the spotlight on the marriage industry here in the Cayman Islands and their business, Simply Weddings.
For 46 years, our Cayman Insurance Center family has worked to protect your family and your most valuable assets. And we are happy to announce that our offices are now reopened to better serve you. For your added convenience, you can also make payments online or make inquiries by phone or email. Whether you need to get a quote, renew a policy, or file a claim, Cayman Insurance Center is here to protect you and your family. As your family's health is everything, do all that you can to protect it. For your family's safety, social distancing practices are in effect at our offices, and masks should be worn. From our Cayman Insurance Center family to yours, stay safe, stay Cayman strong. For more information, call 949-4657.
How can you take your business from good to great and thrive in the new normal? By finding the smartest, most powerful IT solutions to optimize your business operations. And now, Digicel Business Hub is making it simple for you. High-speed Wi-Fi, mobile and office phones, IT security, Microsoft Office with Teams, and much more. Everything your business needs to level up in the new normal. Get world-class IT for your business with Digicel Business Hub. Sign up today. Call us on 623-3444 or visit our website, digicelbusiness.com.
Getting vaccinated is an important part of keeping our islands protected against COVID-19. All persons who are scheduled to be vaccinated must present a photo ID which shows you are legally and ordinarily resident in the Cayman Islands or have permission to stay for 6 months or more. Accepted IDs include a Cayman Islands driver's license, passport or voter's card, a global citizen's certificate, a work permit grant letter, extension letter or job letter from a local company, or a non-Caymanian passport which shows the holder has been landed with permission to be on island for 6 months or more. Essential workers must also present their work ID to show proof of employer. Anyone who has already received a first dose may still receive the second and must show their vaccination card. For more information on the vaccine program, visit www.hsa.ky.
Business Buzz. Business Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
That was a short break, Susan. Welcome back to the Business Buzz. We're speaking with Mrs. Joy Basdio. She is the owner, wedding celebrant of Simply Weddings, and her daughter is here with her as well. She's a marriage officer, Mrs. Samantha Paul. Welcome back to the Buzz, ladies. You know, it's just nice to listen and talk to you off air. I learned so much. Samantha, let's hear more from you. Miss Joy, she's had her time. So we're bringing you to the forefront here. How are you enjoying this process?
I am enjoying this process very, very much. I used to live off the island, and I'm back home now.
Oh, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Almost 2 years. And coming back into the family business is wonderful. As we were discussing earlier, I am my grandmother's deputy, which is, it's great to be able to spend some time with her doing this. And then at Simply Weddings, it's my parents' company. And my brother Brett Basdio is my mother's deputy. And so it is nice to be working together to sort of help provide these services for people on the island.
Do you enjoy working alongside your mom?
Of course. My mother is one of my favorite people in the entire world.
She's got a big smile, so I got to be true.
To work with her.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do your children, are they now involved in this process?
I was thinking about that this morning. I was probably about 15 when I first started coming into Cayman Weddings, my grandmother's company. to assist her. And my eldest daughter just turned 10. And I was thinking, in a couple of summers, Mommy, it's going to be time for her to come in and start learning the ropes. If we're going to keep this rolling, we got to teach her how this works.
So, Ms. Joy, are you thinking about retiring at some point in time now that Samantha is ready to just take up the family business by herself?
I wouldn't say that I'm thinking about retiring, but I'm certainly thinking about not going into the office so much.
You know, Anita, my grandmother she's still going strong. She's still doing weddings. But I think that when life sort of evens out a bit and we're able to travel a bit more, Mommy would be very happy to let me cover some of the slack when she is off on her adventures.
You'll be working. So do you do this full time? Is this your full time job, Samantha?
My full time job is at home, but it is nice to be easing back into work and into doing something that I am very familiar with, that I love, that I'm comfortable with. It is officiating weddings, planning weddings is a wonderful career to be in. I'm meeting so many new people in sort of related industries, so many really creative, professional people, and it's a wonderful way to be a part of a really strong, vibrant community.
Make me want to go out and get married.
You know, you can always renew.
No. Oh my gosh. Oh, that distracted me for a second. prior to your to the company Simply Wedding conducting marriages, do couples have to attend some type of premarital counseling?
No. Not for civil registrars.
Okay.
We don't do counseling.
Yeah, probably just the pastors and churches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What would couples need to apply for after the ceremony? Is there something that...
After the ceremony, we will register all of their documentation with the government. After the ceremony, couples will need to come down to the government administration building and get a registered copy of their certificate. And that is the document that they will need to adjust passports and change bank accounts and things like that.
Okay, never thought about that. Ms. Joy, can you give us that figure again that Simply Weddings perform on an average yearly?
Well, before COVID, we were doing approximately 400 weddings a year. About 50% of those were overseas weddings. Mm-hmm. Remember, we also have other products. We have vow renewals and we have wedding blessings. You don't know this, Anita, but I also do baby namings and funerals. So I can cover you from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, yes. That's awesome.
Yeah, of course that has, we're not doing that many now, but we're doing okay. We hopefully we're going to make it through this very difficult time.
I pray you will. Now, let's walk through the process. I'm thinking, not me per se, but I'm someone thinking of getting married. They call you up. How do you take it from there?
Well,
the entire process.
They have to come in and register, and they're normally registered by my husband Sam, who is our office manager, and he does all the registration, all the documentation, and so on. The thing that people need to notice is that our office is open from 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. only. And people don't understand that, but that is for registration. And the reason for that is that from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., we can be doing weddings. And we can be doing weddings anywhere over in the island. Mm-hmm. So we have to have a particular time for registration. You can also make an appointment. If those hours don't suit you, you can make an appointment. But at those hours, a couple can come in and register.
So that means if I want to get married at 8:30 in the morning,
you can do it, and many people do.
Okay.
And people get married on their lunch hour as well.
And sunrise, yeah. What advice would you offer to any aspiring wedding planners who may be thinking about getting involved in the wedding planning industry?
Well, let me tell you, we don't do that much on the wedding planning side. Mm-hmm. And I have to stop and give a big shout out to my vendors. I have vendors that I have worked with for the last 13 years. Some of them have worked with Cayman Weddings for 30-odd years. So we don't do planning for local people. For local people, we say, okay, these, you want flowers, these are the vendors we work with. You want setup, you want photography, you want videography, you want a wedding cake. These are the vendors that we can guarantee you are professional. They won't take you for a ride. They'll give you a good product. So that's how it works. Now, for my overseas clients, I do packages using these same vendors. So you can have a simple package. You can have a package with photography and videography, whatever. So in terms of advice to planners, I don't think I'm really placed to give advice to planners, except that people want a good service. They want people who are honest. They want people who are reliable, particularly when you have people coming in on cruise ships and stay over, right? They want people who are going to deliver. We have found in our company, particularly in the last year, that having a good refund policy, because people pay a deposit when they book their wedding, and if their wedding can't take place for some reason, you have to make sure you have a good refund policy to refund them their money, which we do. So we have built a very good reputation as a company.
I'm pretty sure that you don't have to give those refunds too often.
We had to give a lot for COVID.
For COVID, okay.
Yeah, you had to give a lot
There's
for
that
COVID.
uncertainty that we've been dealing with.
Yeah.
But it's nice for people to know that if things don't work out, it's very, very clear what is going to happen and what we can do for them. Transparency and professionalism are very, very important in the service industry.
We're going to take a quick break. We've got to make some money, Ms. Joy. So when we come back, we'll continue this discussion about Simply Weddings here in the Cayman Islands.
How can you take your business from good to great and thrive in the new normal? By finding the smartest, most powerful IT solutions to optimize your business operations. And now, Digicel Business Hub is making it simple for you. High-speed Wi-Fi, mobile and office phones, IT security, Microsoft Office with Teams, and much more. Everything your business needs to level up in the new normal. Get world-class IT for your business with Digicel Business Hub. Sign up today. Call us on 623-3444 or visit our website, digicelbusiness.com.
The Ministry of Education, Youth, Sports, Agriculture and Lands invite the public as it officially renames the Savannah Primary School in honor of education stalwart, the late Joanna Faith Clark. It's happening today, Tuesday the 23rd of February at 4:30 this afternoon in the school's cafeteria. If you need additional information, you can email ministryevents@gov.ky.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Open 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Still delivering island-wide for your convenience.
Now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now? Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Business
Buzz with your host, Anita Khan.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. As we wrap up this morning's segment, we want to thank Mrs. Joy Basdiu. Mrs. Joy Basdiu is the owner, wedding celebrant, of Simply Weddings, and her daughter is here with her. She's marriage officer, Samantha Paul. Ms. Joy, can you explain to me what exactly is a wedding celebrant?
Well, a wedding celebrant or a civil celebrant, as I prefer to be called, is somebody who does the legal part of a marriage. Right. So I don't do counseling. I do limited planning for local people, more planning for overseas people. But I'm the person, or Samantha and myself and the other people who work for us as necessary, we will prepare the documents as required by law. We will prepare the ceremony, we will deliver the ceremony, and then we will file the marriage register.
You do everything from start to finish.
That's it, yeah.
So, Samantha, you're, like I said before, you're really enjoying this role.
I really am. You know, I was thinking on the break. You asked my mother earlier about how the industry has changed over the last, since she started the business. Mm-hmm. My husband and I have been married for 15 years. And even 15 years ago, you sort of had two kinds of weddings. Big church wedding or
a beach wedding.
Or a beach wedding. And one of the things that I have really been enjoying since I have joined my mother at Simply Weddings is seeing all the different kinds of weddings that people are having now. Weddings are so much more personalized. They take so much more into account the interests of people. I have seen some of the most beautiful and interesting setups. Another thing that I've really been enjoying is all of the new places that I get to go. Because, I mean, we've talked about how people like to come into the office and do their ceremony in our wedding chapel. And of course, we know people love the sunset weddings on the beach. But Mommy and I were talking about weddings that we have done in Crystal Caves. People want to get married at Hell, you know, getting to see all the different parts of all the resorts on the island. I have really been enjoying seeing more of what Cayman has to offer since I have been officiating weddings.
Ms. Joy, you've been in the business longer. What was the most or the weirdest place that you've had to officiate a wedding?
The weirdest place?
Yeah.
Probably Hell. Hell is quite popular with fairly popular with visitors. And I remember one bride saying to me, "Well, this is my second wedding, and I said that I would never get married unless hell froze over, so I think I better get married in hell." And she actually, I remember her to this day, she actually had a lovely wedding.
Hell did freeze over. How about, say, somebody would come to you one day and say, "Mrs. Mazio, I need to jump out from a plane." And
well, they can go by themselves.
Have you ever done any at the Bluff in Cayman Brac?
No, I haven't done it. I've done in Cayman Brac, but not actually on the Bluff. I've done a little Cayman as well, but we don't do too many because, you know, it's just very time consuming, and we have a very busy office. So if somebody wants to do it in Cayman Brac or Little Cayman, I normally refer them to marriage officers in those two islands.
All
yeah,
right. That's fair. Now, Samantha, as you move forward in this career, what would you like to see couples who are getting married? What would you like to see them do in the future? You know, especially planning a wedding and getting everything together.
You know, I think that people are very comfortable and they know what they want. Mm-hmm. And so it hasn't been too challenging so far to deal with couples that are coming in. And as I say, weddings are much more personalized. People have a very strong idea of what they want, and it has been. I think they have been very good about working with planners to build that vision. And I think just trusting your vendors, getting a good group of people together to sort of have everybody come together and help fulfill that vision. There are wonderful vendors here on the island. I have been really, really impressed by some of the people that I have been working with as I have been officiating weddings. And I think just know that Cayman has a lot to offer. You can get wonderful, creative, professional services here. Trust us. Trust us. We can do a lot here at home. You don't need to go elsewhere.
I'm telling you, I'm just listening to you. If I was getting married, I would be right here. I'll be calling up Miss Joy or Mr. Basdio. Mr. Basdio, just sign me up for this. No, going back to those civil partnerships. Civil, am I getting it right?
Partnerships,
partnership, yeah. Moving forward, how you've already done some, appreciated some. How do you are you looking forward to just getting us all together and tightening up the ceremonies and stuff?
Well, when I basically for civil partnerships, I have 3 types of ceremonies. You can come in and you can have the 15-minute ceremony, which is all the bells and whistles, beautiful readings, anything that you want, because I work with the couple to decide what they want. Choice of vows, you want to do your own vows, want to use some of our vows. And then you have a sort of simpler one, which is about 5 minutes, which probably just deals with the things you have to do by law, maybe a few vows, so on, maybe a reading. And then you have really basically the 2-minute one, which is what the law says, the words that the law says, and then you do the signing.
Is that what they call a shotgun wedding?
It's a very short one, I'll tell you that. And people don't normally pick that. People want... It's a special occasion and they want to make it special, particularly if they have friends there. And I have done some civil unions with quite a lot of people. They want something special, and so they want words that they can remember, and they want vows that have special meaning to them. So I'm looking forward to developing even more ceremonies. What I should tell you, Anita, is that one of the hallmarks of Simple Weddings is that we do different types of weddings. I have done weddings, for example, for people who are Hindu, get married to a Christian. I have done Shinto weddings. I have done Buddhist weddings. So I write the ceremonies for if you want something special. I have standard ceremonies, which I will let you look at and choose from and develop into your own personal ceremony. But I also give you the opportunity, if you have a particular culture or a particular wish, to develop your own ceremony. I've done some very, very nice Hindu weddings with the whole thing, the whole
7 steps.
The 7 steps, yeah, 7 steps. Under the mandaps. Things like that.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow. Do all the
it's
finer
not boring.
things.
This industry is not boring.
Definitely not.
Not at all.
Definitely not. As we wind up to 9 o'clock, it's 3 minutes until then. Samantha, any last words from you? Famous last words?
Oh, I hope I have a few more words after today. But it's been lovely to be here with you, Anita.
Thank you. Pleasure to have you both.
Thank you. It is an interesting time to be in the wedding business. I expect that we, like many people in the service industry, are looking forward to things getting a bit back to normal when we can get there. But in the meantime, we're in a beautiful place. We're lucky to be here in Cayman and be sort of moving about freely, and we are here to help you. To help the people of the residents of the Cayman Islands make their wedding dreams come true.
And having said that, how about some contact details?
Contact details. Mom, you want to handle it?
Go ahead. You're doing so good.
Oh, thank you.
I enjoyed listening to you.
Well, if you are interested in contacting us about a wedding or a civil partnership, the company is Simply Weddings. We are located in the Chestnut Center, which is off Smith Road. Our website is www.simplyweddingscayman.com, and you can also reach us by email, mywedding@cnw.ky, or by calling 949-9933.
That's 949-9933. That's an easy one to remember.
That's a nice easy one.
Yes, it is. Well, Mrs. Basio and Samantha, I want to say thank you. It's been a pleasure having you as our guest in the studio this morning on the Business Buzz. Hopefully we'll have you back sometime, Susan. I just love listening to this marriage thing. It's exciting. We don't get to talk about marriages every day, so it's nice to have you come in and explain all this to us. And
Thank
congratulations.
you so much for having us. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck as you move forward. Wish you many, 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 many more marriages.
Thank you very much. Mama has done 3,300 or so, and my grandmother has done 3,600 or so.
Top that
so
number?
I have a number to aspire to now.
You have to top. They've set the bar really high,
Really
Samantha.
high.
So you have to top that.
Yeah.
We have. I'm looking forward to hearing
forward
those
to it
stats.
myself.
I'm looking forward to hearing those stats. Thank you so much again, and just call up Simply Wedding. Just call up Simply Wedding and have it done. Thanks to Mrs. Karen Chin, head of CLM Publishing. She was our first guest this morning on the first segment of the Business Buzz. Thanks to our sponsors, Cayman Medical Supplies, Cayman Insurance Center, and Digicel Business. And thank you, of course, to our producer, Ms. Susan Watson. See you on Thursday, God's willing. In the meantime, please be safe and have a lovely Tuesday.
The Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Medical Supplies. Call them at 949-6211. Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Digicel Business. Get everything your business needs in one package with Digicel Business Hub.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have here on the island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Government reported the results of 438 COVID-19 tests on Monday. 3 came back positive. Almost 20,000 vaccines have been administered in the Cayman Islands, with nearly 7,700 people completing 2 doses so far. U.S. President Joe Biden has addressed the nation as the country passed the figure of 500,000 COVID-related deaths, the highest number of any country. The president and vice president then observed a moment of silence outside the White House during a candle-lighting ceremony. Confirmed U.S. infections now stand at 28.1 million, also a global record. And South Korean troops failed to notice a North Korean man who crossed the heavily fortified border this month, even though he appeared on TV cameras 8 times and triggered alarms. South Korea's army said it would take this moment to make necessary changes. The man swam in from the sea in a wetsuit, walked 5 kilometers, and spent 3 hours undetected before troops finally took action on his 9th TV appearance. It's unclear why he made the crossing via such a dangerous route. Those are your headlines. I'm Kersley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
your voice, your choice, your radio.